Well. I'm back once again, guys. I'm that dude from South Carolina, Columbia to be exact. My moniker is Drummer 1980. I hope y'all having a good day today. And if that's not the case, ask yourself why. Because after all, happiness is an inside job and it will always be an internal affair. Guys, we back today again with my man Tariq, Nasheed, and the anchor man, the one and only Jason Black. Guys, Roland Martin has a lot to say about FBAs and he cursing as usual. Y'all know how he go on and babble. But I'm going to let you hear what Tariq had to say and then Jason had to say. Get your popcorn because this here might take a little while. All right, let's go.
You know, it's midterms right now. Election season is underway. And you know what that means. Oh, they done gave some checks to their Democrat shills. The Democrat shills are up and at it again, going in on us, going in on the grassroots, and the head shill in charge, Roland Martin. Roland Martin has been on his struggle broadcast on YouTube, really denigrating us. Oh, we're all types of stupid fools. He's extra cursing. Listen, you dumb FBAs. Let me tell you something. Y'all say I'm a tether. He's just going off. Y'all FBA. Let me tell you something. Go fuck yourself. Y'all keep. He's just really going off. Boy, he's been telling us to F ourselves. The black grassroots is just whooping on Roland. Lord, he feels like that. Listen, y'all messing up his bag, grassroots. Y'all messing up his little Applebee's money. He's not getting them Applebee's meals like he needs to. He's like, y'all messing up my butter biscuit money. Oh, he's been on his broadcast just cursing. These FBA dumbass. Y'all dumb as hell. Y'all stupid. Boo-boo the fool stuck on stupid. Using all them old 90s, old outdated insults. Because, look, the Democrats are struggling right now. The Democrats ain't got no motion like that. You see, the Democrats ain't got no motion, and they want to blame the black grassroots. They're trying, the foundational Black America delineation movement, they're trying to blame that as to why the Democrats ain't got no motion, which is partially true. I'll say that. It is true. It's the black grassroots that put that pressure on that ass to make them come through. So the DNC shills, they're panicking now. They're not guaranteed a voting block no more. See, for decades, they relied on blind loyalty. Now that foundational Black Americans are asking, hey, what the hell are we going to get in return? That disrupts the whole political strategy. You see? And we're just not accepting symbolic gestures no more. We ain't doing empty promises. And when you start demanding tangibles and policy and protection and economic investment, stuff like that, the fat shills like Roland, they interpret that as disobedience. So now they lash out like we ain't supposed to demand nothing. All that cursing us out, we stupid fools, and you're going to demand loyalty, or we're a bunch of stupid fools who are stuck on stupid. Okay, what you offering? Don't ask that. Trump ain't giving y'all nothing. That ain't no answer.
Are you ready for it, guys? Let me go ahead and let me chime in and let me go ahead and talk to Roland so right quick. First thing, you say you're a Christian guy, right? According to you. See, you would give Christians a bad name. You on here swearing, using all these 4-letter words, colorful language, invectives, obscenities, but yet you a Christian. I beg to differ. Yeah, can't be. You might be up a 10 Christian. Let's get that out the way. I'm saying a few ground rules. Second order of business. What's with all this tough talk? Every time you come to the black community, you tough all of a sudden, cursing. Like you gonna whip us into voting or something. What's wrong with you, man? You would do anything for some money. And it's obvious. We've seen this for many years. You come to the black community cursing. swearing. The Democrats are notorious for this type of behavior. Talking about get your booties to the poll. What's wrong with y'all Democrats? Everybody is not no lowbrow type people. And you send these boule Negroes out here to talk to us like we some type of lowbrow Johnny come latelys. No, it's a new day. All this tough talk. You don't talk to white people like that. Respect me the same way, nigga. Respect me the same way. You don't go to them cursing, swearing, getting all hot, getting all pumped up. What's wrong with you? That's why when somebody see you in person, you're running. You're hiding behind women. Getting all tough and cursing, calling people names and obscenities. The sellouts don't have no shame whatsoever. Don't mention nothing about no Republicans. What are you offering? It's the question at hand. What are you offering? You go tell your paymasters that. What are you offering? If you're not going to offer nothing, we don't care nothing about no black faces in high places because we see that don't work. Ketanji Brown, Eric Holder. See, we see that don't work. Sheriff Clark. Huh? We see that don't work. Colin Powell. We see that don't work. Barack Obama. We see that don't work. What else you got? Because their mindset is one and the same as yours. And that was the only reason. And I say this, the only reason why they was allowed to hold the position. But the position itself, they was powerless in the position. You see?
He ain't really asking us to vote for him like that. And I didn't vote for him. But you the one shaming us. You're the one shaming us, telling us we stupid fools because we ain't voting for your dumb candidates. So what the hell am I voting for you for? You ain't gonna shame us. Yeah, those days are over. See, now this delineation has us stepping into a level of respect, self-respect, where we ain't letting folks talk to us like some kids. These folks ain't reading the room. They're still thinking like that we got that childlike catfish nugget eating mindset from a few years ago. That is gone. It's a wake up. There's an awakening now. We don't have that mindset. You're not just going to pacify us with catfish nuggets and fear mongering. That ain't working no more. You see, and right now the Democrat shills, they need a scapegoat for their political failures. See, the Democrats, when they start underperforming and they lose ground, they got to blame somebody. And so instead of admitting their weak policies, that's the problem, they're trying to point the finger at the black grassroots and trying to reframe the narrative like we are secret MAGA. Y'all MAGA, y'all really support MAGA. Y'all hate the black community. Y'all damn fools. No, that's you trying to cope. You see, that's why, boy, this delineation is whooping ass because our foundational Black American identity, that's disrupting their coalition game. See, the Democrat strategy, they rely on grouping everybody together under this broad minority coalition. But with foundational Black Americans, when we are being specific about our lineage and we want policies to be lineage-based, see, that whole precision, that threatens their ability to lump everybody together and redistribute all of the resources without any accountability. See, we ain't going for that. And competition over resources, that's being exposed. See, we're pointing out how a lot of resources meant for us gets redirected elsewhere. So that makes all these other groups uncomfortable. So the DNC shills, they want to come in and silence that conversation by attacking us. And independent Black media, they're breaking narrative control. You see, we're bypassing those traditional gatekeepers.
What Tariq is saying is 100% facts. The cows are out of the barn now. You can't close the doors. People have came to the light. People starting to see. And you cursing and talking foolish and recklessly doesn't make it any better. Matter of fact, it exposes the agenda furthermore with all this tough talk. Family, what Roland Martin doing is performative. He just trying to show his paymasters, oh, I get them back in line. You won't get nobody back in line. Man, please. If you gonna come to the people, come with the truth. See, but there ain't no truth. There ain't no light in you. Everything that you do, how you operate is for your benefit. You know, we choosing from the lesser of two evils. We know that. You know that. But if we gonna vote for somebody, at least we gonna get something. And I ain't talking about no prison reform because I'm not a criminal. I don't need nothing about no education right now. I need some tangibles like everybody else gets. What everybody else receive, I want some of that. And you won't hear us saying a word. And you will get my vote. But until then, all this cursing, swearing, the Republicans ain't doing that. Well, you ain't doing nothing either. Two wings of the same bird to me. One just want to do it differently. One want to go about it differently. But the result is the same. Then the Democrats should be ashamed to allow such a loudmouth buffoon that's talking nothing but tomfoolery to get on the internet and to shun the people. Because what you doing is shunning the people. You ain't bringing in nobody. Who you bringing in? The old people? The ones that don't know no better? Geriatric people? Geritol? Octogenarians? Those are the ones? Because the young people, probably 55 and below, they not listening at you. Because first of all, you don't know how to talk to nobody. Like my grandma always used to say, you will catch more flies with honey than you can fecal matter, dung, feces, Negro. But instead, you trying to take the tough approach. Well, I want to see you get tough with white people. Then I would say, well, that's just who he is. You know, he do it to everybody. But until then, you's a Sambo. You are a sorry excuse for a man to sit there. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're doing is selling your people down the river. You know this deep in you know it. We know it. We see you. That's why you all over the place half of the time. But yet you want to come to the people, cursing people out, call them simple Simons. They stupid. All this old stuff. The only stupid person that we see is you.
I want to play for you all what was said here. And by the way, once again, fair warning to all of you here. If you have children around, you might want to shield them otherwise here. But here are the comments that he made. We're going to go over those first. And then I have something I specifically want to say directly to you, Roland. And I have never addressed you or called you out directly by name for something. But tonight, it's going to be a change and an exception. And there's a reason for this specifically. So we're going to review first your comments and give them a fair hearing. And then I have something I want to say specifically to you, Roland.
There's no separation between the White House and the Department of Justice. These people do not believe in checks and balances. And I'll say it again. I want MAGA to be completely decimated in November. I want them to lose the House. I want them to lose the Senate. And all you punk asses out there, let me be real clear, especially some of you loud ass folk who proclaim to be FBA, all man in a heel shield, book dancing for the Democrats, all y'all can go for themselves. Because let me be real clear. I know what these.
By the way, this class act over here, fresh from the food stamps office, like I say, of course, she's giggling because this is the best that she can do and whatnot. So I suppose this is the grin she gives in child support court. I can only imagine. So as you all can tell, Roland is especially perturbed and aggravated and gotten extra sassy. So when his estrogen kicks in, you all know when his estrogen kicks in, he starts cussing. So the hood rat starts smiling and Roland starts cursing. And, you know, just the estrogen in the room is just basically clocked off the scales is what happens at a moment like this.
People are trying to do. And you damn right. I want them to lose the Senate race in Michigan. We're going to play my interview with one of the candidates. I want them to lose in Alaska. I want them to lose in Maine. I want them to lose in Georgia. I want them to lose in North Carolina. I want them to lose in Texas. I want them to lose in Florida. I don't care.
Okay, here's the issue, my buck-eyed friend, not friend. Lose to who? Because that's always been the fundamental question. You want the Republicans to lose. That's what you say because you're on the payroll. Well, we have all been saying the same thing. Wait a minute. The Republicans lose to whom? Because if you're the head cheerleader, and imagine Roland Martin wearing a cheerleading outfit with his pom-poms for a team that is no different than the Republicans, except for one thing, they'll actually pay you. The only difference between the Democrats and Republicans is they'll actually pay you, Roland. The Democrats will actually pay you something, and the Republicans won't pay you anything. Well, that's not a difference. So when you say you want MAGA to lose to what? Democrat MAGA?
Whenever that you ask for something for your vote, the answer shouldn't be the Republicans ain't doing. That's not the answer. Tangibles is what we're looking for. Bottom line, no exceptions. No arguments, no filibustering, no babbling. Tangibles. He talking about he want them to lose everywhere. Okay, and so what are the Democrats doing for us? Besides flooding us with immigration and all that stuff. Like what Joe Biden did. Like Barack Obama and all of them did. He act like the Democrats are going to just be our Lord and Savior if we vote for him. And we know that's not the case. If my memory served me correctly, and yours, what happened up under Joe Biden? What happened up under Barack Obama? What happened up under Bill Clinton? Just those three. What happened up under them?
They pay me. Okay, well, that's not a benefit. So the Republicans would lose to whom? The white supremacists and the Republicans will lose to the white supremacists and the Democrats? Okay. Well, they pay me. Yeah, there's a reason you can't give very much support for that.
Because what these people are doing, they want to destroy any and everything in Black America. Again, all y'all FBA, B1, 8 hours folks, it don't matter. There is not a single Black attorney who is representing a family who has been the victim of police violence who has any faith that this Department of Justice will intercede and prosecute them on civil rights violations.
Okay, and there is no Black family that has been able to get the Democrats to intercede on their behalf either. As a matter of fact, we have been able to get the Democrats that Roland is eternally, perpetually stomping for and advocating for because they pay him. He doesn't care about Black people or Black families or what happens to them. As long as whoever gives him a paycheck, that's what he wants. When he heard cut the check, he thought we were just talking about just him. The Democrats have been the biggest cheerleaders against Black people, folks who have been hurt not just by police, but any random white person. Trayvon Martin, Eric Holder bragged that they wouldn't be taking action against George Zimmerman. Daniel Pantaleo, Eric Garner, Walter Scott. We can go down the list. Geronimo Yanez. No. The Democrats have proudly done exactly the same thing. We have not had any friends at the Justice Department, at the Democrats' Justice Department, at the state level or the federal level or the state level. They've been enemies all the way around. And I brought visual aids here tonight, just a couple of them, to be totally honest. Couldn't go very, very far with that. Hey, folks, how many of y'all remember this? Yeah, these are the Democrats that Roland says that are there Black lawyers to support. Black lawyers don't have any support in the Republican Department of Justice. Well, this is what happened with the Democrat Department of Justice. This is what happened with them. Remember, you had your female Twitterer who went to go finally become the attorney in the Civil Rights Division. And we all saw what she did, standing right next to Merrick Garland. Why she proudly proclaimed that they would not be taking action against Carolyn Bryant. She proudly proclaimed that they wouldn't be doing anything to Carolyn Bryant. After all those years of finally tracking her down, Kirsten Clark proudly proclaimed, by the way, where's Kirsten Clark's people from? Never mind. She proudly proclaimed that they would not be taking action against the mother of white supremacy, Carolyn Bryant.
GBA is cooking like usual, but I believe he got some fish grease on the stove, some peanut oil somewhere. This woman was allowed to live out her days in peace. And if you know anything about the law, guys, unaliving people murder does not have, there is no statutes of limitations on murder. It could be 20 years later. It could be 40 years later. Look at the Jewish community. Whenever they catch a Nazi somewhere, they get them, don't they? They be 80, 90 years old. So my question is, why didn't they get her? And this was up under the Democrats, right? Huh? I can't hear nothing. This is up under the Democrats, right? If you couldn't get her on that, she was an accessory. At least that. Lock her up. This woman was allowed to die without any consequences here as far as prison time. Okay? Under who? See, whenever you listen to people like Roland Moore, if you're not informed, this fork-tongued devil can persuade you otherwise that you are doing the right thing, even though you can see directly in front of your face, nothing is working with these people. See, but he's so loud. His rump, so they got a receipt on him. Sending them emails and all that from Hillary Clinton. Remember that? See, they got so many receipts on him until he don't have no choice but to just kowtow and be the water boy, the do boy, even though he knows he's wrong. That's a sad existence for any human being have to endure. You know you lying. You know the Democrats and the Republicans are one and the same. The DOJ didn't do nothing under Obama. Look at all them people that was getting unalived. Didn't do nothing. Look at the crack epidemic, Bill Clinton. And he come back and apologize. You got Barack Obama down there in Charleston at them people funeral, that Dylan Roof unalived. He down there singing hymns. And they wasn't going to prosecute him. Do y'all know that? The boy had to literally say, I don't want to take no insanity plea. Because they was going to allow him to pretty much plead insanity.
And not just her, why at the local level, even the Mississippi District Attorney, Dwayne Richardson, why he said, no, can't do nothing here. Y'all heard the phrase, a prosecutor can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich, and yet Dwayne here couldn't get a grand jury to indict the mother of white supremacy. Well, yeah, grand juries only fail if the district attorney does not want to indict the person.
Facts.
Now, we all know that's what happens. A grand jury only fails if the district attorney or the prosecuting attorney does not want to indict. So what do you know? The Mississippi attorney didn't want to indict, and then the federal attorneys at the Department of Justice didn't want to indict. But Roland is telling all of us that these are our heroes here, and that the real problem is there's no attorneys of any black person harmed by the police. Notice he didn't say random white folk. By the police. Well, no attorney has any faith in the Republican Department of Justice. Yeah, they also don't have any faith in the Democrat one either.
Facts.
Need more proof? You know, that they actually work against you? Because you can talk about Donald Trump and Breonna Taylor all you want to. The feds didn't do anything about Breonna Taylor. The feds did not lead the charge on Breonna Taylor. So let's not come up with that lie. He's going to try to bring that up in a few moments. Joe Biden, the Democrats and the feds, they were quiet as hell. They didn't have any march-ins, sit-ins, demonstrations. Elijah Cummings, they were not stomping for Breonna Taylor. We were out here at the grassroots. Roland Martin wasn't. We were over here in B1 society. McBLT society over there was dead quiet about it. But you know what the Joe Biden Democrat Department of Injustice did? Why they were trying to make life easier for the killers of Ahmaud Arbery. They were trying to make their lives easier. Hey, why don't we get you out of that state prison and bring you to a nice, cushy federal resort prison?
You see this information this man presenting? This is why you need the new black media. Roland Martin is not going to show you nothing like this. He gonna get on here and curse you out for not voting. Jason producing evidence that's solidified. He building a foundation. If you can't see it, something wrong with you. These people do things up under your nose and you go on with your life and forget about it. They was going to send the murderers to a nice federal prison and you don't even know nothing about it, right? This is your Democrats. You see? Roland Martin not going to tell you nothing like this.
And oh yeah, without consulting Ahmaud Arbery's family, they went to go do this behind their backs. Wow, we don't have to consult your family at all. Let's get them out of that state prison and put them in a nice, cushy Ghislaine Maxwell Federal Country Club prison. Let's do that instead. And don't say anything to the family. The family, of course, stayed on top of it. And when this hearing came up, they were there and present, but not because the Democrats Department of Justice let them know. The Democrat Department of Justice tried to do this behind their backs. But Roland's going to tell you that we have full faith in the Democrats, we have full faith in them. Nobody got faith in these Republicans. No attorneys got no faith in the Republicans. Okay, but the Democrats are the good guys. And by the way, speaking about how much the Democrats love black folk here, by the way, how much the Democrats love white supremacists. People understand we did not bring receipts. We brought invoices. We don't tell your big chubby ass what you paid. We tell you what you owe, Uber Eats. If you all remember, the Democrats, both in the House and the Senate, got together to honor white supremacist demagogue Charlie Kirk. Oh, yeah, and that one they did behind our backs, too. Yeah, tell me that there's where's the difference between the Democrats and MAGA, except that the Democrats are willing to flick a few crumbs off the table to the boot-licking Subway sandwich gobbling shill known as Roland the Bowling Ball Martin. Notice he's not going to bring up any of these things right here that highlight the Democrats as the mortal enemies of our people. These are MAGA moves the Democrats do. What's the difference between the Democrats and MAGA here? They are both birds of a feather. And Roland's just sitting up here cursing and screaming like a hysterical blonde that somehow the Republicans are the real problem. No, they're both enemies. They're both devils.